Good day, viewers. Welcome to Timer with DHO. And today, I have the Ace artist, one of the exporter of Nigerian entertainment to the world, with me, Mr. Samuel Ajibola, also known as Spiff.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to meet you today.
Thank you, Mr. David.
Who is Spiff?
Well, Spiff is it's not who I am to start with. Spiff is a comic actor, a comic character rather, on the show The Johnsons. The comic character on the show The Johnsons. It's a special kid, that could be very clumsy in a very, very funny way. He provides the humor for the family. He's like the joker of the family that makes everyone laugh. He does a lot of stupid things, but then quite in contrast, the times where his intuition can lead him to be right when everyone else is wrong. So all in all, he's a caring person. He's family oriented, and he's passionate about becoming, who he feels he wants to be in life.
Okay. That's a very interesting one.
Thank you.
Coming up with a Spiff at that period in time, and Samuel Ajibola, how do you think there's correlation, and how were you able to manage the film for that young age?
Well, a lot of people are not aware of the fact that I've been in business for almost 30 years now. So Spiff was something that just came up towards the beginning of the last decade, barely maybe about 10, 11 years ago. But in terms of the correlation between who's the Spiff character and my personality as Samuel Ajibola is, there's quite a lot of differences. It's a huge contrast between both personalities. I'm a very quiet person. I'm sure you must have observed it from the little time that I've spent here. Spiff, on the other hand, is
a very goofy character.
Yes, he's very extra with noise. He's a happy-go-lucky guy. He's clumsy. I'm very certain. I'm very intellectual. Spiff can be foolish. I know I'm a very wise person. Spiff struggles with education. I, on the contrast, do not only have a BSc, I have an MPA Masters. So there are just quite, a lot of differences between us. But a lot of people tend to, because their first experience of knowing me as an actor was Spiff, they tend to, their vision, their perception of me has been fused so much with Spiff. So getting to know me is becoming like getting to know a different person entirely. But it's fine. I mean, this is what actors who have mastered their craft and are able to depict characters excellently, aside from who they are suffer. So it's there's something they call it it's an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time. Yeah, that's what I feel.
Okay, like I asked you a question, I think you missed that. When were you able to manage the fame?
Yeah.
At that short period, because I could read that you started acting since 1995.
So,
that's very long.
Yes. Initially, as a young kid, I struggled with understanding how to manage fame. In fact, to a very large extent, it's contributed in making me a bit, of a loner or antisocial, or maybe being introverted, because it attracted a different expectation of people towards me, and then it defined sort of their relationship with me. But I mean, it's like what I was going to say earlier is the gift and the curse. So it's like that. You have to be able to manage it for the sake of your mental health. So over time, growing up and getting a lot of experience in the years of being famous had made me understand that number one, it's to be very reasonable for you to live a simple life, a very realistic life. I mean, void of trying to impress people, that put a lot of expectations. So the more real you see me, the lesser your expectations. I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yes, yes.
Rather than when I give you a huge impression, the first time you're seeing me with the Mercedes-Benz Maybach, you already have a huge impression. But if you see me coming with an Uber, you also have another perception about me. So I'm not saying that I I do have a car. Of course I do have a car, but I'm just giving you analogies to explain how my thought process has helped me to manage it.
To think about that. But another thing is that in Africa, it's very rare for parents to support child at that young age for going into art and culture, or let me just say into crafts and developing that talent. Do you have any challenges in this situation?
I'm very privileged to say that I don't. I keep thanking God over and over again for giving me parents that allowed me to gravitate naturally to where God and the universe was gearing me towards. I've met a couple of people who even in my time as a child actor were telling me their anguish and disdain of how they also came about that opportunity, but because they had parents they were not supportive, that dream was killed. I had coincidentally had a friend that lived opposite my house that was telling me there was a time that he came to look for him to act for him, but his parents said no, and that memory never left him because he it was something that he was interested. Yes. So I'm grateful to God for that privilege. It has given me the opportunity to build a career from a very young age. It has given me the opportunity to build a lengthy, almost 3 decades of experience, and it's just basically helped me to discover myself too, at a very young age. So
that's quite interesting.
thank you.
And on the last note, we are in digital era, whereby talent can travel without even having to struggle like you did when you're starting.
Yeah.
So, and I think, do you think there's more support for talent in Nigeria as this period rather than when you're starting?
Well, I would obviously say yes, because times have changed. A lot of things have are coming to play and unfolding in how the industry and support from every angle is coming to interplay. I'll give you a few examples. For one, right now we have a ministry dedicated to that, which had never ever existed before. So that to some extent is the substantial things. Two, the impact of the internet and social media is tremendous, and how you can do something here in
Nigeria,
and people find it. Yes, also the opportunities that people can make money from social media. It's also a means of creating goals, for them. So one way or the other, I generally believe that there are more opportunities now, even though maybe it could be better. I know obviously people still seek that better government intervention or better structures institutionally, and in terms of how whatever challenges we feel that we experience. But then I'm very certain that we're better off now, and definitely be much more better in the future.
Right. Thank you very much. What's the last advice for the people in the industry as well as upcoming talent?
Well, I would advise that you know who you are, number one, and know where you're going to. Realize that a lot of people struggle with identity crisis, and you find them being passionate about something but not being knowledgeable or being talented in that way.
Being passionate about something but
Yes.
not knowledgeable.
Yes. So for example, I've met people that tell me, I love to act, but they are also shy. I've met people that tell me that, oh, I love to act, but they can't, simulate lines.
Yeah.
Do you get? So how do you intend to improve or even stand a chance?
There's no correlation between
Yes,
the two.
yes. Passion. I've realized passion is never enough anymore. There's there's the value that knowledge brings. There's the value that honing your craft and being talented naturally brings, and these things can also increase your trajectory or speed your acceleration towards success. So that's that. In terms of knowing who you are, knowing where you're going to is having a dream and being consistent in keeping up with living with that dream. It could generally life has become to an extent much more difficult than it used to be. It could take much more time, it could take much more effort, it could take years to achieve even maybe a glimpse of the hope that you've seen yourself, hope you expected to see yourself. But consistency is a very perseverance, is a very key characters and attributes. Hard work, a whole lot of hard work. I mean, dedication. Are things that would help you, to continue to build even when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But definitely, success comes to those who are prepared. To a very large extent, it doesn't just stumble on your laps even when and even when it does and you're not prepared. That opportunity could be missed. So it comes to those that are prepared. So being prepared, being consistent, and building over time would definitely help you. I also like to add the God factor. I mean, I'm a very strong believer that God is always, it should be your greatest consideration in how you move, understanding His will for you, understanding what He wants you to do, finding purpose, because He created purpose for everybody. So if you understand your purpose for Him, you definitely not be walking blindly. That's that. So I mean, those are the few advice I can give.
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
That will be all for today. Thank you for joining us. See you next time. I remain Abib Daranijo, DHO. Thank you.